Hey, what is up, you guys? In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at my top 5 favorite herbivore dinosaurs in my collection.
At number 5, we have the Jurassic World Dominion Iguanodon. I don't know what it is about this figure. I just actually like it a pretty decent amount, and it was good enough to actually make my top 5. Yeah, it's not anything special. It's not one of the more special herbivore figures that Mattel has actually made, but I just seem to like it a lot. I don't know why. Maybe it's just because the Iguanodon, I think, is a pretty cool dinosaur in Jurassic World Dominion for like the 5 seconds of screen time that it has. But I do think that this figure definitely looks a lot like the film counterpart, except for maybe the sizing. It's definitely way too small, but that's okay. This figure also has some pretty decent articulation and some cool action features, even though some of the sounds don't really work anymore because it's been on a shelf for a while. And here's the scan code if you were wanting it. And now let's go ahead and move on to the next herbivore figure. And at number 4, we have Adult Bumpy and Baby Bumpy. And the reason why I put these two figures together in the same spot is because you can't really have one without the other, because they're two different versions of Bumpy, the baby one and the adult one. And I do think that Mattel actually did a pretty good job on representing Bumpy in both the adult and the baby versions. I really like how Bumpy's color palette works. It's definitely a lot more unique compared to a lot of other dinosaurs in the franchise, and it's definitely a very unique coloration for any Ankylosaurus that we've seen in the franchise. And here is Bumpy posed up with a Carnotaurus, basically representing the fight that we have between Bumpy and Toro in Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous. This figure also has some pretty decent articulation for a Wild War figure. Obviously, it's not going to have insane amount of articulation, but it's fine. And this figure also has 3 levels of sound, so here we go. So as you guys could see, the sounds also don't work, just like the Iguanodon. Well, they don't work that much because it's been on the shelf. And then Baby Bumpy just has basic articulation. But I really like both of these figures, but let's go ahead and move on to the next figure on this list. And at number 3, we have the Jurassic World Dominion Therizinosaurus. And this figure is so awesome. I think it depicts the Therizinosaurus that we actually see in Jurassic World Dominion pretty well. Yeah, it's not as good as the Hammond Collection version, but hey, it's still very, very good. And I mean, this figure is just awesome. I love the giant claws that it has, because that's what the Therizinosaurus had. And I just love the paint job and everything about this figure. And this figure also has very good articulation for a figure that actually has an action feature, which I will show here in a second. But yeah, the articulation on this figure is amazing, which is very surprising. But here it goes, the action features. And something that's cool about this figure, since it has that slashing action feature, you can make it slash your other dinosaur figures that you actually have in your collection. And here's the scan code for anybody that wants it. And Mattel did a very good job on the Therizinosaurus, but let's go ahead and move on to the next dinosaur on this list. And at number 2, we have the Legacy Collection Brachiosaurus. How's it going up there? So yeah, I have the Legacy Collection Brachiosaurus at my number 2 spot, and as I implied in that starting thing, this figure is absolutely massive and barely even fits on the camera. I mean, here it is compared next to the other dinosaurs that we've actually seen today. But this figure is still very awesome, and I think it depicts the Brachiosaurus from Jurassic Park very well. And here's the Brachiosaurus giving Baby Bumpy a ride. This figure also has some pretty decent articulation for being such a big figure. It can move at its legs, can move at its neck, it has 2 joints on the neck where you can swivel it around and make it up, and look at how big this figure is. Then also, it has mouth articulation. And then lastly, this figure also has tail articulation. So this figure is very awesome, but let's go ahead and now move on to the number 1 spot. Alright, and now with my number 1 spot, we have the Hammond Collection Stegosaurus. And so yeah, shocker, a Hammond Collection figure is going to be at the top of this list. Yeah, not really. This figure is just amazing. To get it out of the way, the Hammond Collection Stegosaurus is probably one of the best Hammond Collection figures that has ever been put out. I mean, just look at the glass eye right here. It looks really nice, and it has a bendy wire in the tail, which I think is like outstanding. I'm surprised that Mattel was even able to do this because of all the plates on its back. And I mean, this figure just looks almost exactly like the Stegosaurus that we see in the Lost World Jurassic Park. And that's why it is number 1. Alright guys, and that's going to do it for today's video. I hope you guys have enjoyed. If you have not yet, make sure to please like, share, and subscribe. And hit the bell, turn on post notifications so you'll never miss another video. And if you'd like to support the channel a little bit more, consider purchasing a channel membership. Link in the description, and you can also press the join button next to my name. And let me know in the comments what your guys' favorite herbivore figure is in your collection. And this has been Erwin Goji 14 signing out. Bye guys.